Yeah, what's going on, guys? Spartan here. Guys, we've got an awesome video, boom, for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about how and why carnivore diet cured my insomnia and how also HGH replacement fit into this for me. So, guys, you're going to want to listen up, listen to what I have to say, and here's the big key, okay? I was able to cure about 70% of my insomnia and my sleep issues with carnivore, and I'm going to explain exactly how and why this works. Don't go anywhere. Almost nobody knows this or talks about it, and then how I was able to cure about the other 30% with HGH replacement. Okay, guys, so here's the backstory. Here's the backstory and what you need to know with this. Ever since about, halfway through college or about college ended for me, I've struggled with really bad sleep issues and insomnia on and off, okay? Hard to fall asleep, hard to stay asleep, all of that stuff. So, when I got a little bit older and I started HGH replacement to put me back to guess what, when I was younger, right? To keep me at my topped up of my HGH levels, like when I was 18, when I started HGH replacement, it got better. Obviously, it got a lot better. HGH is amazing, and it makes your hair grow faster. It makes your skin newer, better. It gets rid of wrinkles. Everything's better in terms of muscle building, recovery, and all that, because your body's basically replacing cells faster. You have a newer body with HGH. This is great for fat loss, metabolism, all of that. But that's not what I'm trying to talk about here. HGH has an amazing miracle effect on sleep as well. It makes you fall asleep better, be at peace when you're sleeping. If you ever take it, you know what I'm talking about. So you sleep better, you sleep longer, you wake up feeling rested and recovered, and your sleep is just overall greatly improved. And that's why, as you age and HGH levels go down, you don't sleep as good. So this is not what I wanted to talk about in this video, but I was able to fix about 30% of my sleep issues with HGH replacement. But the other 70%, for me, guys, personally, listen to what I'm saying, the other 70% I was able to fix with the carnivore diet. Now, let me explain why. This is the key to the video, and this is something that I personally didn't know for a long time, and this is something, guys, that probably you guys don't know. So let me explain this. This is the key, okay? Don't go anywhere. This is the key, so you can tell other people this, because people don't understand this. If you're eating a lot of carbohydrates and or sugar, okay, aka that was me for the last 10 years, okay? Now I do carnivore. I'm bigger, stronger, faster, and leaner at all times, and my recovery is way better, okay? Why? Because muscle tissue and every tissue in the human body is what? It's not composed of carbohydrates, it's composed of what? Essential proteins and essential fats, okay? So we'll get into that in a different video, but here's what you need to know. If you're eating lots of carbs and or sugar, what's happening? Your blood glucose levels are going like this, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's like a roller coaster ride, okay? So what's going to happen is this. Now, during the day, you have spurts of energy, you feel good, you go up, you go down, you see what I mean? And if you're doing, I used to, for the last 10 years, I've done a high protein, high carbohydrate performance diet because, quite frankly, that's what we're told is best. Whether bodybuilding, fitness, athletics, sports training, that's what the norm was. And it's shifting now as we have all these world record athletes and all these people now going, low carb, keto, and carnivore and setting new world records in all different sports, right? So, and if you don't, here's the key. I didn't believe it until I tried it for myself, but my performance and my strength and my recovery is better carnivore, higher fat, high protein than it was on high carb. And this is coming from somebody who absolutely loves his oatmeal and brown sugar and cereal, okay? But more than that, well, I could eat meat all day, every day, so it's not too much of a loss. But forgetting that, that's not what this video is about. Here's the big secret, guys. Forgetting the HGH and everything else, this is how I was able to cure my insomnia and my sleep issues with the carnivore diet. On a typical high carb, or even moderate carb, sugar diet, what's going to happen is glucose goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, okay? Now, the issue with this, listen up, the issue with this is that when your blood sugar goes up, let's say your blood sugar goes, higher than the normal range, right? Let's say you go above, 130, 40, 50, whatever. Have a bunch of carbs and sugar. It goes up. Guess what? When you're sleeping, this wakes you up. Once you get hyperglycemia, you wake up. And then guess what? When your body releases insulin, lowers it, and you go hypo, it wakes you up. So what's happening, guys, is guess what? When you get high blood sugar, you wake up. And then when you get low blood sugar, 3-4 hours later, it wakes you up. So here's the big secret. if you're slamming tons of carbs, you're eating sugar, you're doing a high protein, high carb diet. And this was for me. Guess what's happening? You're getting constantly woken up and you don't sleep anywhere near as deep. You don't sleep as good because the brain is upset. The brain isn't happy. It's constantly getting kicked awake because, blood sugar's high. You got to create all this insulin, lower it. This wakes you up when it's high. And then when it crashes, it wakes you up. So you guys see what I'm talking about. This roller coaster disrupts your sleep cycle. This disrupts your sleep cycle, makes you not sleep as good, as deep, and it makes it a pain in the butt to fall asleep. And that's where I was, okay? Having to take tons of melatonin to be able to fall asleep. So how does the carnivore diet cure this? This is how the carnivore diet miraculously, amazingly cures it, okay? Thank God. And let me explain this. When you go carnivore, or keto for that matter, and just by the way, in the medical field, ketosis is used to do what? Treat seizures and, even can be treatment for seizures, anxiety, all this other stuff. Now, why? How does this work? It's the exact same way that carnivore works and also the same exact way that it fixed my insomnia and also anxiety. It keeps your anxiety down too, all right? So how does this work? I already explained how the high, moderate carbohydrate, sugar diet works up and down. Well, what happens is when you go carnivore or keto, guess what? Your body, your body's always burning some amount of fat, but once all your carbohydrate stores, your glucose stores are used up, namely, especially in the liver, what's going to happen is the body's going to burn way more fat. Okay, your body's going to adapt to burn way more fat. Great. Your body's also going to do what? Create ketones. Great. But your body also needs some glucose. Your body needs glucose, some carbs to operate regardless. Even if you have tons of ketones, even if you're, burning tons of fat, you have parts of your brain and your kidneys that still need glucose, okay? It still needs glucose. And also, if you're training hard to fuel your muscles. So where's this glucose going to come from? Your body's going to say, well, we still need some glucose. So what the body can do is the body can make its own glucose, its own carbohydrates from fat. As long as you're eating enough fat, it'll make it from fat. And if you're not, it's going to start making it more from protein. And for the people, this is going to be another point. I've explained this in my video, but I don't want to get bombarded with comments here, is that for the longest time forever, you study to be a dietitian or nutritionist in the medical world, they ask you, can sugar be turned into fat? Answer is absolutely. And then the opposite, they say, can fat be turned into sugar or glucose? And the right answer was always no. But guess what? They finally have found out what we see in nature, in hibernating animals and all sorts of animals. They finally have found out that, they're dead wrong. Fat can be turned into carbohydrates, into glucose by the body if it needs to through various pathways. This has been identified, already posted all the studies on that. So, but even without the studies, you can see that in nature with hibernating animals and also animals that only eat, like meat and fat, such as the cheetah and other animals. But having said all of that, we're not animals, by the way. We are created, if you're a man, you're created in God's image, but I'll let you guys believe whatever you want. So here's the key with this, guys. When your body you stop the carbs, you stop the high carb, you go carnivore or keto, what happens is your body will burn way more fat. Great. Will create a bunch of ketones. That's great. But your body will self-regulate and create internal glucose production. So what does this mean? Here's what your glucose looks like on moderate or high carb diet. Up, down, up, down, up, down. When you're sleeping, this is waking you up at the peak and at the valley, right? Now, here's the beauty of carnivore or keto. Here's what your glucose levels look like. Dead flat, dead flush. You're gonna sleep like a brick. You're gonna be able to fall asleep much easier. You're gonna be able to stay asleep. And if you get woken up, you can fall right back asleep. This is where I'm at, guys. My life has changed. I feel so much better. Thank you, God, for making this known to me, and this is where I'm at. All right, so this is what all you have to do to be able to be at your best in terms of sleep. If you've got sleep issues, insomnia, and even if you don't, I tell people only two things. You want maximum performance, maximum performance, muscle gain, fat loss, and also, be at your best, including sleep, low carb, or what? Carnivore, keto, or something along those lines. Guys, says Spartan, stay safe, stay healthy. And if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. Try it for yourself and you'll see the difference. But that's the big secret. Glucose levels like this versus crazy waves. All right, guys, we're out of here. Boom. It's gonna take on